Hi guys, welcome back to Steep Riderz. Today we've got a Benelli Tnt 125, it's a 2018 model. It's kind of a competitor for something like the Honda Grom or the Z125. I'm going to pass you over to Max now, who will tell you all about his bike.
Right, so this is my Benelli Tnt 125. It's Italian, but it's made by the Chinese, so I suppose it's as good as you can get. The specs, it's 11.1 brake horsepower. It has 9.6 Newton meters of torque. So as brakes go, the front is a 220 disc brake and the back is a 120 disc brake. And as you can probably see, the Brembo stickers, they're not Brembos unfortunately, that is a modification. So on the topic of modifications, the mods I've done are aftermarket levers, I've done aftermarket mirrors, and I have also done obviously the Brembo stickers, an Olin sticker there, which I don't know whether it's a mod. A useful mod that I've done is paddock stand bobbins, and then the last but not least is on the airbox you have a snorkel. And basically I was in the TNT forum and I got told, oh, if you take the snorkel off it runs a lot better, so I thought, oh, no, it ain't, but I'll try it. And oh my god, did it make a difference. It sounds a lot beefier, it runs a lot better, and it pulls like a dream. And I thought it was going to be a lot worse on fuel, but it's actually better on fuel. So top speed wise, I've had 73 displayed on the dash downhill with wind in my back, but on GPS it was 70.4 miles per hour. So on a long journey, the most I've ever done is a 120 mile round trip. The seat, I thought I was going to have a numb bum at the end of it, but surprisingly I actually didn't. It was like an armchair, so that really surprised me. The tank is a 7.2 litre tank, so it's not a very big tank as tanks go, but the most I've ever had out of it is 116 miles out of it. And when I filled it up I only put 4.5 litres into it, so it still had a bit more to give. So weight wise it weighs 116 kilo, and suspension, the suspension is actually fairly decent for such a small bike. You do feel everything, but you can't really complain with it being such a small bike. I've never had an issue with it. I've hit many of potholes and nothing's really ever cracked it or done anything to it. So and it has been put through its paces. So yeah, the suspension gets a thumbs up from me. So insurance wise for this little beauty, I pay around about £130 per month, but bearing in mind that I am 17 years of age, and age will play a massive factor when you come to insure a vehicle. And tax, you'll be expecting for it to set you back about £20 a year, which you really can't complain about. 20 quid a year, it's pretty much nothing, to be fair. So seat height is 790mm. I'm about 5'8", 5'9", and I can flat foot it easily. And yeah, you will find with the seat though, it looks quite thin at the front, but it does push your legs out a bit. So sometimes I'm tiptoeing, it just depends where you want to sit really. You do have quite a big seat, the pillion. So if you're large, you can sit on the pillion seat if you like. But yeah, you have space to move around, etc. So this is a fuel injected bike, 4-stroke, and it also has a 5-speed gearbox. So it's 1 down, 4 up. So the bad points are the gear indicator, it hasn't got one, which isn't really a bad point, but on the dash there's actually a blank spot where a gear indicator should be. But unfortunately, not that I know of, there's no way to program a gear indicator in. So it's not really a bad point, but it's just, I suppose it's just me being picky, to be fair. Another bad point, which you find probably with most bikes that don't have Michelin's or just standard Chinese tyres really, the stock tyres, in the wet I personally find that give me zero confidence whatsoever. Like it's bum clenching. But you just have to ride to the conditions of the road, I suppose. So the exhaust, I know a lot of people think it's a it's a fake exhaust or it's an aftermarket pipe. It actually isn't. This is what will come standard with it, apart from the Pipeworks sticker. The Pipeworks sticker comes from the decat pipe, which you'll see there. That's the decat pipe, where the catalytic converter is meant to be. But I believe when you take that off, it lets more air through the bike, and gives you more power really. But when I've actually rode a stock TNT without one, and honestly, riding this feels like a super bike compared to the stock TNT, and just you can't complain about the noise really. It's just, you really can't. It sounds beautiful. So another bad point is the problem I had with the exhaust not too long ago. It turns out one of the valves had closed. I don't know all the ins and outs, but one of the valves had closed and it weren't letting air through, something like that. But it was really like boggy. Like you'd get on the accelerator and it'd be like, okay, now let's go. And yeah, but apart from that, and when I first got the bike, the gear linkage came off. But I think that was more of a dealership thing because I hadn't put any Loctite on it. So apart from that, you literally can't complain. Brilliant little bikes. So the headlight, as much as it looks really cool, it is a bit disappointing. So the daytime running light, I believe it's the bottom light that lights up on the daytime running light, but when you put your full beam on, it closes that one, and then basically you're directing aeroplanes. You can't see anything on the floor in front of you. It's just blinding other road users. So that is a downfall, but you can balance a switch. I know some people have soldered wires together and stuff like that, so you don't have to bother balancing the switch, but personally I'm not brave enough to do that. But the only downfall when you're balancing the switch, if you knock it with your hand wearing thick gloves and stuff like that, it can be a bit of a pain in the bum to balance again. You will have to pull over. You can't do it on the move.